My name is Jim, and I'll be reading Stephen King's The Dead Zone. The baby came on Halloween night. Sarah's labor lasted 9 hours. She was given mild whiffs of gas when she needed them, and at some point in her extremity, it occurred to her that she was in the same hospital as Johnny, and she called his name over and over again. Afterward, she barely remembered this, and certainly never told Walt. She thought she might have dreamed it. The baby was a boy. They named him Dennis Edward Hazer. He and his mother went home 3 days later, and Sarah was teaching again after the Thanksgiving holiday. Walt had landed what looked like a fine job with a Bangor firm of lawyers, and if all went well, they planned for Sarah to quit teaching in June of '75. She wasn't all that sure she wanted to. She had grown to like it. On the first day of 1975, 2 small boys, Charlie Norton and Norm Larson, both of Osfield, Maine, were in the Nortons' backyard, having a snowball fight. Charlie was 8, Norm was 9. The day was overcast and drippy. Sensing that the end of the snowball fight was nearing, it was almost time for lunch. Norman charged Charlie, throwing a barrage of snowballs. Ducking and laughing, Charlie was at first forced back, and then turned tail and ran, jumping the low stone wall that divided the Norton backyard from the woods. He ran down the path that led towards Simmer's Brook. As he went, Norm caught him a dozen good ones on the back of the hood. Then Charlie disappeared from sight. Norm jumped the wall and stood there for a moment, looking into the snowy woods and listening to the drip of meltwater from the birches, pines, and spruces. "Come on back, chicken," Norm called, and made a series of high gobbling sounds. Charlie didn't rise to the bait. There was no sign of him now, but the path descended steeply as it went down toward the brook. Norm gobbled again and shifted irresolutely from one foot to the next. These were Charlie's woods, not his. Charlie's territory. Norm loved a good snowball fight when he was winning, but he didn't really want to go down there if Charlie was laying in ambush for him with half a dozen good hard slush balls ready to go. Nevertheless, he had taken half a dozen steps down the path when a high, breathless scream rose from below. Norm Larson went as cold as the snow his gun rubber boots were planted in. The 2 snowballs he had been holding dropped from his hands and flopped to the ground. The scream rose again so thin it was barely audible. Jeepers creepers, he went and fell into the brook, Norm thought, and broke the paralysis of his fear. He ran down the path, slipping and sliding, falling right on his tail once. His heartbeat roared in his ears. Part of his mind saw him fishing Charlie from the brook just like he went down for the 3rd time and getting written up in boy's life as a hero.